Hi, welcome back to my channel. Today we are taking a look at the first wave of the core class, or Legends class. I don't even know what classes are even called anymore. Transformers figures. We have three figures here. We have Skywarp, Iguanas, and Hot Rod. And I really do dig these. They are, of course, core class, sorry. So they are not perfect. Iguanas has no kickstand, so setting them up in vehicle mode is not happening. But otherwise, I do like these. Now, I know these two, he was available as Starscream in the previous line, and he was available as himself, but they really do work together with this, especially with their weapons, and we'll talk about in a second. Take a look at the boxes. They have that beautiful purple. They've got all those cool things. Let's raise the camera just a little bit here, and you can see the artwork. And on the sides, they have their personal character artwork, which is cool. Iguanas has those cool laser eyes. I like that. Hot Rod's blanding his sword. But one thing you will notice, the Autobots and the Decepticons have different pictures on the other side. As far as the back and the product placement goes, it just shows them. It's not really cross-selling anything, which is perfectly fine. But let's go ahead and take a look at them. First, we're going to take a look at Skywarp here. Skywarp is sexy. It is a lovely black and purple, and yellow, and silver. And it looks like Skywarp. My only real complaint is this gun doesn't really look good, and the reason for that we'll show off in a minute here, because it is important for how they integrate and play with each other. He does have no landing gear, so he's just laying on his stomach. Iguanas is mostly this purplish blue color, lavender maybe, gold and red with a little bit of silver there, big Decepticon emblem. And you do have the wheels. And this is actually my favorite figure of the three. I like how they did this, and his transformation is actually kind of fun. But again, no landing gear, so he falls. Hot Rod. He is not the best figure. This part here, making it sit flush, you have to transform it, untransform it, transform it, untransform it until it all fits and works. And he does have this sword, whereas Iguanas has another cannon thingy. But they're cool. He rolls. He does roll, but you have to hold him, and he just lays there. As far as transformation goes, he's the most complex. He's actually the one that gives me the most amount of problems. He's also one I do the least. But I do like it. This whole system, these three figures are all really good. I do think they're, considering what the size class is for them, I think these figures are fantastic, and they're very, very well done. And just the amount of detail that was done on them, when you can see that this isn't cheap looking figure. There's very few faux parts. There are faux parts, of course, because of how this all happens, but otherwise it is a very nice looking figure. I really shouldn't be talking while doing this, I know, but basically this whole section here comes up. You gotta separate it from this somehow. Again, hard to do on camera. I don't know how the other guys make this look easy, but yeah. Bring this up, fold it back, bring this around, turn his head around. One thing to note, these pieces here do like to pop off, so be careful with them. Come on. Right now it's stuck. There we go. That's the first time this has happened. So, curse of recording. But yeah, he is a fantastic looking figure. I really do like that. I mean, look at this. Really, I've never had this issue until I started recording. When I get to the RC review, I'll talk about that, but I mean, just gotta bring him in. You can see here, it's got a lovely head sculpt. It looks like the classic Seeker mold. The fact that the head can move makes it even better. You do have the fake cockpit here, which is not lining up correctly. There we go. I'm actually surprised just by how tight everything is on this figure. Again, they used it already for Starscream in the previous toy line, so the fact that it's still here and it still works and it's really, really tight is amazing. I don't know what's going on. Like, I never have this issue with this figure. I've had it posed and played with for a couple weeks. The gun has, you can either do it as like a taser type thingy, or like this. Not 5mm ports. These are really small, so it fits the figure. Go ahead and get him out of the way. Iguanas. Again, Iguanas is my favorite of the three. I do like how he transforms, and it's very cool. It's very alien looking, and it almost looks like an actual Pretender figure for those of us old enough to remember Pretenders. Um, the inner robots were not the best, but they were, for what they were really cool. Um, Everything here is held together by basically parts matching up and tapping them together, and it gives it, again, an alien feel, but it feels much more like something you would see an alien who transforms on another planet into. It's not organic looking, it's not Earth looking, which was one of my problems with the Siege line, is some of the vehicles were way too Earth-like, even when they were doing Cybertronian design. But otherwise, I mean, it's very cool. I mean, I love how this backpack is done, how it comes together and basically forms up like that, and it gives him a very cool look. He's very menacing looking, he's very alien looking, and let's go ahead and bring him in. He does have that reptilian-esque head, which can rotate. It can look up a little bit, it can look down a little bit. You do get waist rotation because how he transforms. The elbow bend is really good. Ball joint, so you get a lot of swinging. Legs can go forward. They can't go back that far, but you do get that lovely leg bend. A lot of ankle bend due to how he transforms. His weapon does have a 5mm port, but of course it doesn't really work on his fingers. So you do get the smaller one, and you can either put it forward like that or turn it the other way. I'm going to leave it like that though. And I do like how the backpack looks. I was really impressed by the amount of engineering and how well he transforms, and especially given that, he is one of the smaller price point figures. Hot Rod. A lot of people have complained about this figure online. I understand it, I dig it, but I collect Hot Rods, so I had to get it. I do think the vehicle mode looks great. Underneath you do, of course, get visible head, and you can basically see all the parts. But how it gets from A to B is actually a lot of fun, and I do like how they did. It's a very fun piece of engineering. Again, these pieces here don't exactly line up the best, but it does make it easier to transform him when you want to transform him. So you do have that. And now him, I do expect these shoulders to pop off on. Camera's making a liar of me yet again. Legs are a fun piece too. Basically everything just folds and hides, and it hides his parts well, I think, for what it is. Again, this is a small core class, legion class, whatever they're called these days figure, so it's not going to be the best. But it definitely portrays Hot Rod, and that's what's important here. And we take a look here. He's got his Phoenix flame chest. He's got that smirk. I like it. The back, people have complained that his head is hollow. Big deal. I don't care. Weapon storage. Not really much you can do with it in this mode. It's mostly meant to tab him with this, but you can. He holds it like a sword, because it is a sword. And yeah, by the power of Grayskull. But yeah, I dig it. I think it's one of the better looking figures that I have for him being a core figure. I was almost tempted to dig out the old Minor Wars. But the real play feature for these three figures is the fact that the weapons combine together to form a giant sword, mostly for Hot Rod. But you can use it with other figures as well. For those who have the Rodimus line figure from the previous Transformers line, then you know that he does come with a sword these days. There's no real good way to do this because of the this piece here. And that's the unfortunate part about it. So it doesn't look the best, but it is a sword. It is cool looking, and Hot Rod can hold it, kind of, even if it is a slightly too big for him. Reminds me of the Star Saber sword from Energon. But yeah, it's a cool figure. These are cool figures. They are core class, so there's not a lot to talk about with them, but they're actually surprising with the amount of articulation, posability, and they do look good. So yeah, I got these at Target. I'm no way affiliated with Target, so I get no money by saying that. Damn you, Target, give me your money. I give you mine. But yeah, that's it. Again, the sword is a little too big. His knees are very loose, but it's a cool set. It's a cool set. Please comment down below. Tell me what you liked, what you didn't like, and what you want to see next. Thank you.